What do the Fast and Furious Charger, John Wick's Mustang, and the Too Fast, Too Furious Evo all have in common? You're about to be able to buy a screen used version of every single one because they're all hitting auction later this month, all with no reserve, and some are actually surprisingly affordable. The auction's happening through Bonhams because a full movie car museum decided to liquidate its entire inventory. These are the cars that stood out the most to me, so let's go through what's up for sale, the details, and what each one is projected to bring money-wise. Starting with the most expensive, and honestly most interesting to me, we find the screen used Too Fast, Too Furious Evo. This thing is the real deal, built by Craig Lieberman. It wasn't a hero car, just a stunt car, but it's still a chance to own just one of 4 cars that were used on screen. The writing on the door suggests Paul Walker himself drove this exact car. What is this one expected to sell for? Surprisingly, the estimate's only between $290,000 and $580,000. I'm no expert, but that feels like a steal when you remember that the Tokyo Drift RX-7 just went for $1.22 million, which was about triple the estimate. And screen-used Fast and Furious cars don't really come up too often, so this Evo is definitely going to be one to watch. Also up for grabs is another Fast and Furious rig, a screen-used 1970 Charger from Fast and Furious 7. The car is the one from the parking garage roof scene from the 7th film. Estimate here between $170,000 and $290,000. It's wild to see how much the earlier cars from the franchise just dominate the market compared to the more recent ones. Last but not least, let's hop into one that surprised me the most, the 69 Mustang used in John Wick. Obviously, the movie car wrecked in different scenes, so there were several versions that were built to show all of the stages of damage. This particular example is expected to bring between $120,000 and $230,000. But anyways, there's 30 different movie cars in total. Some of the more reasonably priced ones include a stunt version of the 71 Monte Carlo from Tokyo Drift. There's a couple of replicas like this Fast and Furious Eclipse. The auction starts November 21st, runs about a week, so I recommend checking out the Bonhams website if any of these below hit your nostalgia buttons, because this is a rare chance for movie car fans to get actual screen-used memorabilia from a bunch of different films. Some of them are more expensive, and generally auctions of movie cars like this really crank up the spending dial, but there's some in here that you can get without having to take out a second mortgage. Let me know which one of these cars you think is the most underrated and which one you'd be adding to your collection if you had a choice.